And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Post Youth, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And I do need a moment to set up their teams. Un momento. And of course, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. I did the intros. What am I getting at? I'm used to doing things in a bit of a different order, but okay, we're settling in. Now we can focus. Oh my god, CC first. Oliveira going CC first. This makes sense on a map like Post Youth. Again, because of the in-base natural, it is very safe. You can cut corners, you can be as greedy as possible. Dark is going hatch, pool, hatch. Okay, Dark is also going gasless. Basically, welcome to a game of greed. Dark is going gasless, so no gases whatsoever, rushing to a fast third. Meanwhile, Oliveira going CC first. Ooh, and Dark, what's going on? Okay, we're scouting for proxies. Okay, makes sense. So he scouts for proxies first, then he pulls back, and now he has enough minerals for the hatchery. So it's all about cutting corners, all about being as greedy as possible. And who comes out on top in the greed is the question. Now, because Oliveira's Rax is a little bit later, it does mean that Dark will have Queen to defend. He shouldn't be punished too hard. Reaper production has begun. The Overlord will confirm. And the Overlord might even scout the CC timing as well. And dipping in. Queen production has begun. You can also see that Dark is not wasting any lava making lings, he's just droning. Dark is just droning up. Just now spotting the factory timing as well. Confirming it's not a 2-1-1. So Dark getting a lot of information here. Likewise, also saw how late the Reaper was. And the add-ons. Back at home, Dark getting ready. Building up more queens. Oh, second Rax on the way, hidden behind the mineral line. Cheeky move out of Oliveira. Okay, makes it look like a 1-1-1, when really it's a 2-1-1. This could even be a Hellbat push. Very curious. We'll see. I mean, the factory's making that on Dark. He scouts. He does check. He does go further in. And there we go. Dark, he does confirm the 2 Raxes. He is aware. But again, it's going to be a really weird setup here because we have to add-on swap to get the Tech Lab on the Rax to get into Stim. No, he's not even add-on swapping. Tank? This is wild. A very interesting build here by Oliveira. Okay, so winding it back a little bit to kind of talk about what's going on. Typically a 2-1-1 build, oh, he's going straight into a 3-1-1 actually. A 2-1-1 build does go for an add-on swap, but it does prioritize Stim, right? Stim is prioritized to get into a Stim timing with Medivacs. Here, the setup is very different. Stim was delayed, and we're getting into early tank production instead. Likewise, that's going to be a Viking before any Medivacs, going into another Rax. This could just be a 2-base all-in. This could just be a straight up 2-base all-in from Oliveira. Just really early tank production. Add-on swap? No shot. Yeah, now getting up to 5 Raxes. Roach Warren gets thrown down by Dark. I mean, Roaches can do very nicely defensively in the early game. So it is a very safe way to play. So I'm liking the Roaches here by Dark. I mean, with a gasless opener, Roaches are mandatory because there's no link speed. As a heads up, there is no link speed for Dark, so he has to rely on Roach Ravager to defend against this. Second tank is on the way. Reactor now in the medevac. Sorry, reactor now in the starport for medevacs. And again, this is going to be a very interesting move out by Oliveira. Moving out already, actually. This I'm not so sure about. has his first tank, has Mass Marine. Second tank is on the way as well. Oliveira just rallying across the map. And he will punish the gold at least. And there's just not enough Ravager to really contest against this. Stim is not done, but Oliveira doesn't need it. Tank is within range. Hatchery's under fire. Dark trying to poke in. Second tank has arrived. No Ravagers. Massive tank shots. Yeah, the roaches are melting. They melt against the tank fire. Dark, he cannot engage. Not into this army. Not this early on. And because of that, Oliveira was hoping just for the hatchery. He doesn't just get the hatchery. Oliveira, he gets what? He gets 6 roaches and a queen. 6 roaches, a queen, and the hatchery as well. So a bit of bonus damage on top of just the base. And now Oliveira backs up. He retreats. He's waiting for +1, waiting for combat shields. And he's getting ready for the second move out. This time with medevacs. And upgrades, of course. So the second push is going to hit even harder. And Dark is stuck on 3 hatcheries. His larva is impacted. He's taking it back up 4th. Double expanding even. I mean, he has to at this point. Building up Ravagers. Getting to pulse on melee. Bailey Nest. Oh, remember though, no link speed. There's no link speed here for Dark. Not yet. Meanwhile, the 5th base is denied. It's going to be cancelled. Dark massing up Roach Ravager. The file's going to be so crucial. He does get the first tank. The first tank does go down. 2 tanks left. Boys are being pulled. The Ravagers are being targeted down. And it looks like Dark, he can get 1 more tank. Just barely gets 1 more. But a second tank has arrived. Again, it's such a close defense. Another tank falls to the Ravagers. And Dark barely holds, cleans up the final tank, and forces back Oliveira, but at the cost of 13 drones. And the 5th. Oliveira pulling away. Ooh, doesn't have many reinforcements. Remember, this is a 2-base all-in. And Oliveira's lost a lot of steam. This is a very late 3rd TC on location. Dark, he's holding, and he's looking good. He's looking strong. Like, that move up for Oliveira, that had to end the game. That had to kill Dark, and it didn't. And now Dark is snowballing out of control. He's getting his 4th. He's getting into his upgrades. +1 melee. Will deny the 3rd again. It was on location. Too greedy. The 3rd base is denied. And now Oliveira's hurting. Oliveira had a good start. Again, I really liked the first move out. He got so much value for it. But the second push, as we saw, was a little bit lackluster. Did trade, but needed to do more than just trade. And you saw the power of Roach Ravager defensively. Every time Dark engaged, he was able to pile down a tank. Able to whittle away at the tank count and the main army of Oliveira. As Oliveira, he boosts into the main. Stimming on forward, gets a queen. Gets 1, gets 2. Gets all 3 queens. Pickoffs aren't too bad. Liberator sieging up here at the 3rd base as well. So we're at the 4th. But remember, Oliveira, he's desperately just trying to do whatever he can to keep Dark at home, to allow himself to expand. Same time, 11 drone kills, not bad. 11 workers going down to the Lib Harass. Oliveira, he's now establishing his 3rd. I will say that Dark is still in a better position, but Oliveira is not going down without a fight. Building up more bio, building up more tanks. Moving out towards the 4th. Oh, files, they don't quite connect. Yeah, but the spread here from Oliveira, sorry, from Dark, shuts down the tanks. 2 more of them go down, and just 1 tank left. Dark just has to kite back, buying some time. Ravagers are exposed. Massive pickoffs. Oliveira, he stims in, he breaks through the defensive line, gets on top of the Ravagers. And it looks like Oliveira might just barely have enough. It's still so close, but now there's just 2 Ravagers left. 2 Ravagers remaining. This hyper-aggressive style from Oliveira, initially it did kind of fall in its face. It looks like he is just snowballing out of control. Takes out the final Ravagers. Saves the tank. And Dark, he barely has a standing army. He has purely Roche to defend. And Roche is on their own. They're not ideal. They're not that good. Boys coming in from behind. Let's go the surround. The surround comes in. Dark, again, he's barely holding. Cleans up the tanks, but he's on 3 bases. He's stuck on 3 hatcheries. Oliveira's on 3 CC. Now investing into a second eBay, into an armory for +2, into further upgrades. Again, this just confirms that Oliveira never intended for the game to go on this long. He was hoping to kill Dark earlier in the earlier attack, and this attack as well. Oliveira has been all in the entire time. And because of that, Dark's comeback is a little bit more feasible. Like, because there's no armory, because there's no 2-2 for Oliveira, because he's behind in upgrades, because Oliveira didn't think the game would last this long, Dark has a chance. Dark does have a chance. He wasn't meant to be alive right now. Wasn't meant to be here, but he is. So Oliveira does continue with his drop play. Meanwhile, Libras does continue. Oh, that's another 4 drones going down. Oliveira going for the gold. If he can establish a score base, then Oliveira can definitely sustain himself and keep things going. The bios barely don't connect. Oh, brutal. Getting another 6-7 drones. Go, Oliveira breaking out. Bios, they won't quite connect. Ling Bane is being cleaned up as well. Yeah, you can see Dark just having a hard time engaging with the main army. As Oliveira has numbers on his side. Liberator falls. 4 tanks behind this. The Biles. They graze the army. And supply-wise, Dark, he's just having a hard time keeping up with the supply, with the army of Oliveira. With the size of the army. Gets a tank, gets a medevac. Get impressive piles here by Dark. Just raining down on the bio, but even then, it still might not be enough. As the 4th base has been broken. And Dark just doesn't have the economy to sustain himself, doesn't have the larva to sustain himself. Has been losing queens, queen after queen, no injects. Oh, actually, the queen count was completely reset. No injects, no larva. Dark amassing more lings, getting to 3-3. Now as they get one of the tanks. GG gets called. Dark, he's just going to be outscaled. He just cannot keep up. Not anymore. And Oliveira will take game number 1. Whew. GG. But that was a very chaotic game. And just a really interesting build out of Oliveira. Remember, it was initially a 2-base all-in. It hits well ahead of time before Stim even finished. And honestly, it was a really good start. Really good start for Oliveira. Then the all-in came into play, but it did look like Oliveira overextended. He got punished for it. Dark was able to survive, was able to get away with his bases. But then came the 3rd wave, the 4th wave. Just over time, Dark just could not keep up. Could not keep up, could not sustain himself, and was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. With that, Oliveira takes a lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. And now we're going to be loading into a very different game. We're going to be loading into Amphion. Very different map even. If you recall, last game, it was a game of greed. We had Dark cutting corners. We had Oliveira cutting corners early on. Now we should be seeing something a little bit more standard. A little bit. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player, the red Terran representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Here we go. We're calming things down. Again, this time, it's going to be a Rax first. Rax into CC. Likewise, Dark, I imagine going Hatch Gas Pool. I mean, it is not unheard of to open up gases here on Amphion. I think we have seen Dark go gases before on this map, so is also a potential possibility here for Dark. If he does go for the pool before gas. Hello, drone. He's going gasless. Okay. I mean, again, this is a very specific opener designed for very specific maps. There it is. There's the spawning pool. The drone is going to scout for proxy and then expand and take the third hatchery. So the downside of this build for Dark, well, the downside of this opener is no gases means no link speed. It means that you have to play Roach. And that's okay for Dark. I mean, Dark, he's a Roach boy. He does embrace them quite freely. It does mean that your army is less mobile. It means that you have to be a little bit more defensive, or it can lead into a Roach all-in. You can be quite flexible with the follow-up. There's a fast third base. And again, 0 gases. Now, this is very map-specific because of the ramp coming into the natural, and because of how close the third base is to your natural as well. You can get away with defending with purely queens. You can get away with not defending with any lings whatsoever. So again, if the map is just a little bit more defendable on 3 bases, if it's closer together, like Golden Aura, for example, like Post Youth, for example, and even similarly here with Amphion, you can get away with defending with purely queens and no drones. Serral has been embracing this a lot as well. If you watched EWC, you would have seen Serral attempt to go gasless against Clem, and Clem did punish him quite hard. If you remember, I think it was in the group stage of EWC, where whenever Serral would open up gasless, Clem would punish with Hellions. He would punish with Hellions, and he would see the queens and just avoid the queens, rush into a mineral line, and roast up drones. Like, that is something that Dark himself as well is vulnerable to because there are no speedlings. So there is the potential to punish. Behind this, at his third CC before Starport, economic opener. Oliveira now going for an add-on swap into Hellion production. And we'll see if Oliveira can make anything happen with these Hellions. Again, if he commits to aggression, if he realizes what's going on, he can punish this, but that is a big if. Here we go. From here, we are just, again, Oliveira just going for an economic opener, massing up a handful of Hellions. I should also emphasize as well that Clem did open up 1-1-1 in his games, which is also why he was able to gather up more Hellions and build up and be hyper aggressive. Oliveira's going to have a handful to work with, but I doubt he's going to really commit too hard. Roach Horn's on the way. Again, no link speed into Roaches. Just now focusing on purely Queen defense. And it's on Dark to keep up with the Hellion harass and to defend his bases. Hellions, they poke in. They spot the queens, they back up. Stim is on the way behind this. And now Dark is looking quite comfortable. I mean, compared to the previous game, Dark is freely droning. Lair is now on the way. Roach Horn's done. Gas is now being taken. Hellions do not try to dive in. And Hellion production has now concluded. So just 4 Hellions for map control. No aggression from Oliveira. I was trying to find the Viking. As the Viking takes down the Tumor. But now with the Roach counts, we are going to be able to fend back the Hellions. Up to 6 actually, not 4. 6 Hellions. Ooh, Dark overextending. Leading out a Roach. And 1 Roach falls. Gets a second Roach as well for 1 Hellion. Better trade for Oliveira. Not the biggest of trades, but still more efficient for the Terran. Behind this, Dark Rolling up, getting to Oliveira chamber, 4th hatchery now on the way, and embracing Roach Ravager. Now from here we can just calm things down. The big question for Dark is how heavily does he drone? Does he max out on 3 bases and just go for a big 3-base all-in with Roach Ravager? Does he tech and drone up his 4th and tech into Hydras, into Ling Bane, into kind of a greater army? We'll see what Dark goes for. Likewise, Oliveira establishing his 3rd. Going for the triangular 3rd, very defendable. It's protected by rocks. There's rocks on the right, or there's rocks everywhere actually. The minerals have not been mined through. So it's quite difficult to actually kind of lay siege upon this base. And apply pressure to the CC. Kind of a big supply block for Dark. 6 Overlords on the way. I imagine gearing up for more Roaches. Meanwhile, we do have the double drop into the main base. I'll distract at the same time. We do have the Hellions on the right-hand side. But Dark is ready. Dark is in position. Does focus on the Hellions. And do you see what I see? I don't see any drones. Dark, his cut workers at 66. That is 3-base saturation. He's working on 1-1. Dark, he's building up more Roaches. And unless Dark makes any more drones, it looks like a 3-base all-in. It looks like Dark, he's just massing up Roach Ravager. We do have Ling Speed on the way. That is the first sign that Dark is getting ready for a later game. Getting ready for Ling Bane. He's knocking down those rocks. Building up more Roaches. He still does refuse to drone up his 4th. So no saturation. And Oliveira needs to realize what's going on. If Oliveira saw this, he'd throw down bunkers. Immediately, bunkers here to protect his expansions at the ramp, at the natural as well. The lack of bunkers is concerning. The Roaches, at least some of them are spotted. Oliveira going for a 4th on location. This is quite greedy, and Dark is almost maxed. Dark, he's about to max out. On purely Roach Ravager. 1-1 is finishing up. Roaches, they hit the 4th. They will delay. Where's the tank? No, Oliveira, he's out of position. The tank did reposition. The natural base is completely exposed, and Dark is pushing in. He's breaking down the wall. Denies the 4th base. And Oliveira is not ready for this. Another tank is going to be targeted. Roach is pushing forward. Nice spread here by Dark, baiting out the tank shots. GG gets called, and Dark will tie the series 1-1. GG. Yeah, GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. As we mentioned before, a lot of this came down to the lack of scouting of Oliveira. As we saw, just because we have full vision, Dark wasn't droning. Dark, he wasn't saturating. He had cut workers at 66, that is 3-base saturation, and just maxed on Roach Ravager. Just maxed out on Roach Ravager and hit a timing with 1-1. Oliveira didn't scout, didn't check the drones, didn't check saturation for 4th base. He saw the main army, he was distracted, he rotated towards his 3rd, he had no bunkers ready, didn't know what was going on. Didn't know what was happening. GG, well played. We're going to game 3. We are going to that ace match. And we'll see how this story ends. Headed towards his 3rd. Here we go. As a reminder, the winner of this series will advance on to the semis. To those semifinals. And we'll be casting both of them, of course. Both semifinals will be casted. Alongside the grand finals as well. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran representing Weibo Gaming. Being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Talon Esports, tying up the series and forcing the ace match. It is Dark. Here we go. We are going to game 3. And Dark, every game so far has opened up gasless. I don't think it's quite as safe to open up gasless here on Alkione. I don't think the natural and the 3rd base are as secure, but it is a larger map, a longer rush distance by ground that might be enough for Dark to embrace it anyway. We'll see. We'll see if he does open up gasless for a 3rd time. for now. Just going to be droning. Just going to be saturating. Yep, he's doing it. Dark is opening up gasless. He's done so every game so far. He looks like he's feeling quite comfortable. Is he going for the linear third? No shot. That's crazy. The triangular third is a little bit more defendable. This linear third is a little bit further out. Okay. Okay, there he's a sane human being. I was like, there's no shot he takes his third base. Yeah, he's going for the triangular third. This does make more sense. It is more secure. It is closer. And if you're going gasless like this, I mean, take whatever you can get. So there we go. The hatchery is on the way. Behind this, interesting. Oliveira going Rax Expand, but Oliveira, he's going Reactor first into Marine. Okay. Yeah, my attention. SV does confirm the natural's done, and the third's already on the way.
Complete.
So, Oliveira is fully aware of the build of choice from Dark. He knows there's no link speed. He knows that it's going to be a roach-heavy defense. And is embracing early Marine production. This can lead into a 2-1-1. This can lead into a 3-1-1. Into another 2-base all-in. Bunkers being thrown down. This is wild. Okay. So Marines are going to be zoning back this Overlord and moving out across the map, and the goal for Oliveira is to try to deny the third. We'll see if he can. Ooh, as the Overlord barely escapes. 1 HP! Oh my god. The 1 HP Overlord. It lives. The Marines do not quite get it. Bunker does complete, and these Marines have to get across the map. Oliveira, he wants that Overlord. Will delay his own economy to do so. Dark at supply block for a moment. The bunker is revealed. Lings, they're in position to zone away, and I don't think this bunker will actually come into play. Yeah, the Marines are too late. Yeah, the Marines are too little too late. The bunker's under fire. Forces a salvage. And nice defense by Dark. Again, the only reason why this bunker didn't come into play was because of the Overlord. Like, the Overlord, it kept the Marines pinned back at home. They could not move out with the Overlord spotting them. That 1 HP Overlord, the hero. And yeah, because of that, we'll see what Oliveira can get done. He is going into a 1-1-1 follow-up here. No third CC. Very aggressive build out of Oliveira. Massing up Hellions, building up more Marines, Medevacs being rallied across the map. Up. Things do poke into the natural. And I would imagine this hits with an armory. I would imagine. Oh, never mind. Oliveira had a choice. He could have thrown in an armory, but no, he throws down a third CC on location instead. This is still going to be a very committed move out. Has a medevac to support. Behind this, Queens are amassing. Roach production has begun. 6 Roaches on the way. And can Oliveira actually get damage with this? There's a Hellions towards the left. A lot of them. 6 Hellions here. Meanwhile, 8 Marines into the main. And the Hellions, they're going for the mineral line. They're going for the drones. Evo chamber is denied. And no Evo block. Boys are being pulled. Some of them do line up. 3 drone kills so far. At the same time, drop into the main, but the Queens are in position. 1 Queen goes down. Not a bad pickup. Hellions still wreaking havoc. Medevac falls. Getting another Queen. Down to 2. 7 drone kills so far. The Queens are low. Another one goes down. Dark will defend, but this is damage. Even up to 8 drones. As the dust does settle, it is going to be 8 drone kills, 1 Roach, 2 Queens. Was that worth it in the end? That was a good amount of economic damage, and Oliveira is getting his third base on location. Bear that in mind. But clearly, yeah, even Oliveira knows he's vulnerable to a counterattack. That is 2 bunkers on the way. That is a big reaction by Oliveira. Unfortunately, he misreads. As we can see, Dark is droning. Dark, after the defense, he's droning up. He is not going for a counterattack. I mean, he is, but he's not committed with the counterattack, I should say. Dark is droning, Dark is saturating, Roaches do arrive, and Oliveira should defend. Dark does get a depot. Gets a depot, gets 3 SCVs. Could even get another. Up. Yeah, gets a second. Second depot, denies any kind of mining at the third, and Dark backs up. Dark, he retreats, he backs off, gets his fourth at the gold. And the scan reveals the saturation. Now Oliveira knows that there is no all-in, he salvages the bunkers. And Dark has been being quite greedy here, just happily droning. Has been happily droning. Do you see Oliveira behind this? Getting into 1-1, building up into 5 Raxes. It's going to take a little bit longer for Oliveira to really get things underway. A lot of the tech, a lot of the upgrades were delayed because of the aggression early on. Which means Dark is free to do as he pleases. Link speed is on the way, 1-1. If you remember last game, Dark, he went for a 3-base all-in off of 66 drones. This time, Dark is actually droning up even further. So Dark is going for a longer macro game. I mean, hey, Dark is droning. Not just that, but now he has the gold, so he has a boosted economy. Oh. Does have that boosted economy. Oliveira trying to be active. Oliveira does get eyes on the gold. He's now aware. And now is the time for Dark to focus on his army. Now he's done droning. Being focused on Ling, Roach Ravager production. I believe there's still no Baneley Nest. Yeah, no Baneley Nest yet for Dark, but I'm sure we will get there. Oh my god. Files won't quite connect. Roach is in position in the main. So far, Dark is keeping up. And Dark is maxed. Dark, he drone up to 74, or now 73. He's maxing out on Ling, Roach Ravager. And what is it to defend? Oh, a bit of a supply block. We have only 2 tanks sieged. 2 of them are on siege. CC's on the way. Dark, he's pushing in. Okay, Oliveira, he does respond. Does siege up in time. There's not much support. Yeah, Ling's a dive on top of the first tank. Whilst they will connect. 1 tank goes down, but the other 3 are doing so much damage to the back line. 1 more tank falls, but the bio army comes in from behind, and Oliveira, he will defend. He shuts down the main army. Yeah, blundered attack by Dark, and Oliveira holds. Whew. Oliveira does hold. Got the full surround, cleaned up every single Ravager. 4th base now being taken. There was potential, but again, the attack was very chaotic from Dark, and he only got, what, like 2 tanks? And now Oliveira can counterattack, and Dark, he's in trouble. Dark has a very inefficient army. Purely Roach. Handful of Ravagers. 4th base getting up and running. Oliveira counterattacking. Dark is getting into 2-2. And Oliveira, he's going to be able to deny the gold. And the gold base is under fire. Dark, he has to engage. Again, I don't know if there's enough Marines here. Roach Ravager's breaking through. The tanks are exposed. And has Oliveira overextended. The first line of tanks are going down, but there's a second line behind this. The juggling. Juggling is solid. Oliveira will be able to clean this up. Saves the tank. And maintains those 3 tanks. Gets the Liberator. Maintains the position. Dark has to retreat. But what's important is that Dark, sure, he traded with the army. He didn't kill Oliveira. He didn't reset the army count, but he traded. And Dark, he has the economy. He has 70 workers. He has the gold base still operational. That's what's important. He saves the gold. He fought for the gold base. He holds onto it. It survives, taking another expansion. Dark still can max out. Still has the economy to do so. Wasn't the cleanest of fights, but it didn't have to be. Oliveira getting his 4th up and running. Spotted. Liberator has towards the right hand side. And now Dark is going to be forced to defend. Getting into an infestation bit, working towards Hive Tech. Libs are rolling up. Double drop as well. They hit the mineral line. Oh, getting a drone. Repositioning. Jump here at the 5th. 6th base even. Is denied. Gets a kill on the drone. Nice pickup. And throughout all of this, Oliveira has finally maxed out. He's getting up to 200 supply. Denies the expansion. Liberator's still wreaking havoc. Now, when it comes to the quality of the army, it's very tank heavy, which is ideal against Roach Ravager. Ghost Academy just now finished. The Ghost production is going to be delayed, but I do think the heavier tank count is a little bit better here for Oliveira. Silver is now pushing. The Hive is still not done for Dark. He has no Vipers. And without a Hive, without Vipers, it's going to be difficult to engage. He's going to dive in. Lynx push forward. Massive tank line behind this. Lynx, they melt. Oh my god. The Lynx, they do nothing. And Oliveira snowballing out of control. He breaks through the front line. And no Banelings. And without Banelings, the Marines, they reign supreme. He didn't even have to split. Yeah, it just stims and wins. And it looks like Oliveira has done it. GG gets called. Oliveira will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Oliveira. It's a very intense, very chaotic series. In the end, Dark, his first attack with his Roach Ravager was lackluster, if you recall. That was the moment when Oliveira, he gained momentum and he never let go of it. He got his 4th base up and running. He was able to max out on Bio Tank. And Dark was unable to transition into Ling Bane. He was stuck on Roach Ravager as well. He was trying to take up into Hive. I believe that Hive Tech was for Vipers, but it was too little too late. The Infestation Bit and the Hive Tech was just too late for Dark. Didn't really come into play. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Oliveira will advance on into the semi-finals, and the question becomes who will face off against him. We have the answer. !B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the back of yourselves.